it's Halloween. This is, I believe, our second Halloween, and we're all dressed up and excited to go. Instead of going with a crazy horror movie like we went with A Nightmare on Elm Street last year, we decided to go with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, a comedy horror.
Yeah, still spooky, but a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen Ghostbusters yet, this is the very first Ghostbusters. I think it came out in 1984.
84.
But
yeah.
So we'll let Sean Marcus give you the synopsis of this amazing movie.
Yeah, we'll break it down for you. The 1984 supernatural comedy starring Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd follows a group of scientists that start a paranormal extermination business in New York City. They become the city's last line of defense against a surge of supernatural activity as they battle an increasing number of ghostly apparitions brought on by a powerful ancient deity named Gozar. With their proton packs and Ecto-1 vehicle, the Ghostbusters battle the spirits and save the city from the impending doom.
So this movie came out before my time. I was born in 86. You probably went and saw this in the theater, didn't you? Old man.
Actually, I'm an old lady. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how old the twins were when The Shining came out, I'm actually probably in my late 50s by now. Anyways, I did not see Ghostbusters in the theater. I saw it on old VHS.
Now, did you see the first one first, or did you see the second one first? Because I feel like I probably saw the second one first.
No, I saw the first one first and then the second. But the second actually is my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like caught between the two. The second one has a lot of cool, like kind of honed in comedy, but it's just kind of fun to see the start of the Ghostbusters themselves. I just rewatched this movie the other day and I'm still impressed by it. All the humor's super funny, and I think they wrote most of the little jokes and stuff on the spot or the day that they were doing.
Yeah, there was a lot of ad-libbing in this movie.
Yeah. It was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, and they're two of the Ghostbusters. So
it is a classic. It still holds up. Yes, some of the CGI looks a little hokey, but come on. The storyline holds up. The jokes hold up. It's got such memorable quotes.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
All-star cast.
Yeah. All-star cast.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis,
Rick Moranis,
Ernie Hudson, and Sigourney Weaver.
That's a blockbuster right there.
Super fun to see all them together, and I think they just vibed together really well. They played off of each other. Bill Murray is just kind of creepy as Venkman in this. Like every woman he sees, he's just hitting on. I don't remember that as a kid, but watching it now, I was like,
yeah, this was definitely before #MeToo.
Oh yeah, when she's possessed by the spirit of Zool, he like knocks her out. Like, but did he have like drugs on him when he went to her house, or did he like go through her cabinets? I don't know. Like, and then he's like, "I'll be back." She's all passed out, and he's like giving her a kiss and stuff. I'm like, that wouldn't fly today. But
no, we'll give it a little leeway.
In a lot of these old movies, though, the characters are just so fleshed out. Each person's kind of their own thing. Like Egon is like the super nerd, like scientist of it all. You got Ray. He kind of handles all of the work on like building stuff. And then without Venkman, though, they wouldn't have become the Ghostbusters because he was kind of like the business mind of everything, saying, "Hey, I'm willing to take this risk with your money." And I don't know how we're doing it yet, but man, they got the fire department like super fast. They got the hearse for the Ecto-1 like right away. They had suits and everything. I don't know how much time was supposed to pass, but it feels like they just next day had everything.
If any movie needed a montage, I feel like this movie should have had a sweet montage.
Yeah, there was kind of a montage.
Yeah, kind of, but not like, a true montage.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make one.
And use the Team America montage music.
To be a montage.
montage.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Montage.
Ghostbusters. But man, yeah, it's nice to revisit movies like this from your childhood and still feel that excitement. What was some of your what's your favorite quote?
Oh, it's a stupid one. Like at the end, Ray goes,
Hey, where do these stairs go? They go up.
and then they just like walk up the stairs. I don't know. It was a stupid like dad joke. I don't know.
Mine's
I know it's a bad one.
When they're inside the mayor's office, he's like,
Everything was fine with our system until the power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
yeah, that's probably my favorite quote of the movie.
That guy though, just causing like a whole ghost invasion because he didn't listen and just shut off. I don't think like a health inspector or safety inspector would come in and just randomly shut off stuff that they have no clue what it's about. But I guess he did think all the ghosts and stuff were like pretty fake. He thought they were like doing hallucination stuff or mass hallucinations on everybody. Do you have like a favorite moment?
My favorite moment is probably everybody's favorite moment, where towards the end, where they did the one thing they said they weren't supposed to do and cross the streams. I mean, that is just such a memorable moment.
Yeah. I love how they brought that back, because in the beginning when they're taking down their first ghost, which is Slimer, he's like, don't cross the streams and all that. And I love that they brought it back and they're like, yeah, this is how you make it more powerful and, win in the end. I think my favorite scenes has to be probably their first one with Slimer. They're in that hotel and they're in the whole dining area, like for the convention or whatever big thing is going on. And they're just destroying everything in that room and all the chaos of hunting down ghosts and stuff. He's like, hold on, everybody. I always wanted to do this. He grabs the tablecloth cover and tries to pull dishes out. I'm like, there's no way he would be going through all that. After all that, they never discussed how much it cost to hunt down this ghost. And Venkman is just giving out numbers. Egon's over there doing this little thing with his hands like, no, $4,000 plus one. It's just little details like that just made it funny. And they're like, I didn't know it was going to be that much expensive. He's like, we can
release them.
And then for some reason too, one of my favorite parts is when we were talking about montage, is the whole montage sequence like shortly after that when they have their commercial out, because you got the Ghostbusters theme song through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think you see them hunt down any ghosts in that whole thing. They're just running around and they got all these ghosts. For some reason, it felt really exciting to me, probably because the music is just going with the Ghostbusters theme.
Well, here's a little fun fact. That phone number, they ran that in real commercials for the movie, and you could call that number and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and those guys would be like, sorry, we can't answer the phone right now because we're busting ghosts or something like that. And they got like 1,000 calls an hour for like 24 hours straight for like as long as it ran.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish it was still active. I wonder what would happen if you called that number now. Like, who's it gonna call? One thing I didn't know though, and piggybacking on your fun fact, is that Rick Moranis' character was actually written for John Candy, I guess. But John Candy just couldn't quite get the character down. But I think it worked out. John Candy was amazing. I like John Candy in pretty much everything. But Rick Moranis just like nailed that whole like part, and the dynamic between Rick Moranis and Sigourney Weaver was just really cool.
Yeah. And Winston was supposed to be actually for Eddie Murphy. I don't remember what happened. I feel like Eddie would have just pushed things a little too far. Winston was kind of, subdued in the background a little bit.
Yeah, I think it would have been competing for who's funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Winston coming in balanced out. Like I just mentioned earlier, they all have their own little characters and they all fit into this little puzzle piece. I think you're right. Eddie would have just been a little bit too much.
Since we're talking about fun facts, how about we do a little two truths and one lie about the Ghostbusters? But since I made one of these videos before, I'm going to throw in yet another 3 truths and 1 lie. Originally, there was a 5th Ghostbuster, a female Ghostbuster named Jenna Drummond. Number 2, Slimer, known as Onion Head, was actually an homage to John Belushi. Number 3, Ghostbusters was the highest grossing comedy until Home Alone. And number 4, Stay Puft was originally supposed to be the Pillsbury Doughboy, but they couldn't get the licensing for it, so they made him a marshmallow. Stick around till the end of the credits. We'll tell you what the lie is.
Dan Aykroyd, wrote this movie with Harold Ramis and all that. But one of the main reasons that he wanted to write this is because his family is like super into paranormal research, and he's super into it too. And I guess his grandparents or great grandparents used to like either go to a medium and they'd have these whole seance things and try to talk to spirits and stuff. And Dan Aykroyd seems like he's
dad
really
wrote a
into
book about the paranormal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a whole lineage of ghostly apparitions in that family. So you mentioned that the first one is maybe your favorite between the two.
I think I've seen the second one probably more than the first one, because on this one, I thought the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was a huge part of this. And maybe it was just that's the impact of that character itself. But he's only on for maybe like 3 minutes, if that. He's at the very end, just Godzilla stomping through the city and then just gets roasted. Fun fact. The explosion when they're covered in all the white goo, it's actually shaving cream. When I watched it, I was like,
a lot of shaving cream.
Yeah, I can't remember how much they said they had, but yeah, it's all shaving cream. And I guess Dan Aykroyd, every scene was like, put more on me. So I want to go back and look and see if like he just progressively gets more and more goofed up with it. I don't know. The second one, you said you liked that one.
I just like the
first one.
I mean, the storyline, there was just kind of so much going on in that movie. It really just pulled me in a lot more, I think, than the first one, which was, just kind of, the build-up story and all that stuff. And the first one was, I think, maybe just because I was younger, but it was a little scarier than the second one. Well, should we rate this movie? Since this is a classic, I say we rate this one, and we rate this with, are you the gatekeeper or are you the keymaster?
I think I am going to go more of the keymaster side for the exploration. He's trying to find the gatekeeper, man. And so he's like getting to experience all the little things as he's going through. So I'm going keymaster on this.
I agree with you. I'm going keymaster on this one because I love Rick Moranis. So, he was such a great part in this movie. So keymaster all the way.
Both possessed no matter which way you go.
Oh, now we got to give us glowing red eyes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. This movie is up there as one of my favorites from the 80s and my childhood. So it's up there for sure.
Well, that's it for this episode. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.
Peace.
All right, so the lie is actually that there was no female Ghostbusters in the original script.